It's back to the track. Don't go away. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And yes, indeed, it is back to the racetrack for me. It's been a while since I've done a Hot Wheels Grand Prix Series vehicle. Well, we're going to fix that today. I've had a great time so far. I hope this one is going to be a lot of fun. So let's crack on. Today, I finally returned to working on castings from the Hot Wheels Grand Prix series, turning my attention to the Ford Mark IV. This crusty casting, despite looking horrible, is actually solid. As some would say, it has good bones. The Grand Prix series debuted in 1969, featuring 7 new cars, and added the 1968 casting of the Ford J-Car. In 1970, Mattel added 2 more cars to the set, the Ferrari 312P and the Porsche 917. As always, I take the car apart, and in this case, I will use my shielded drilling to make it easier. The car is comprised of a base with wheels, an interior, glass, and a body that has a tilt-open engine cover. This early model didn't come with a stop to limit the opening travel. That was a feature that was added later. After getting the car apart, I can use the Vicks bits to prep the posts, a feature worthy of the cost of the bits alone. I'll go ahead and drill out the posts and then tap them so they'll accept a small button-headed screw that I get from Bright Vision. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part, the warm liquid goo phase. In it goes, and we can all enjoy watching it sink into the depths of the goo. Good times. The glass really isn't bad, but it can be made better by some light sanding with a 2000 grit sanding sponge. I'll follow that up with my beloved flits to polish it out, and I could easily stop there as it looks great already. But with a jar of gauzy nearby, why settle for just great? Into the gauzy the glass goes, and then I'll secure it away to dry while I work on the rest of the build. The base does have some tarnish, so I'll run it through the lime away and water mix. Oddly, the base has a very uniform kind of texture to it, almost like it was made that way. It's consistent, and I really have no way to get rid of it, so I'm just going to press on and learn to love it. After pulling the base from the mix, I then hit it up with my brass bristle brush, say that 3 times fast, and I'm honestly happy with the way it looks. Still, I'm going to shine it up with some flits, buff it out, and then I will protect it with Renaissance wax, and I can happily and successfully move on. The body should be able to come out of the goo now, so I pluck it out, and if the paint is coming off, I'll go give it a quick wash. After washing, I'm horrified to see how bad the body looks. Thank goodness I plan to use opaque paints here. The car was opaque red, it's going to remain opaque red. And it's a good thing because this body is a train wreck. I'll just brush it down, then run over to the paint booth for some primer and paint. So look, I know the Tamiya primer is expensive, but first, it does a great job. It's the best I've seen for primer. And second, it goes surprisingly far, much further than you'd expect for such a small can. It's a much better deal than you might initially think. While the primer dries, I'll go ahead and start figuring out the decals. This car would have come with a sticker set, but there is no way I will put stickers on this. I'll make some decals and I'll bury them under some clear coat. I start by sketching out what I want, and then I get some measurements, and finally I can turn to Adobe Illustrator to make the decal art. Once I'm happy, I'll print the decals on my HP with the Ghost White toner, and I can forge ahead. With the primer dry, I can now mix up some Tamiya gloss red paint with a little bit of leveling thinner and some X20, and I'll make the car all shiny red again. I have to say, the car is looking cherry. Rum-pum-pum. Yes, indeed, pun intended. But seriously, it does look great. With the paint dry, I can apply my decals and at the same time make a small mistake. White decals over red paint really struggle. I did print my decals in a way that I could double them up to get better, more opaque white, but I just forgot to apply the double decals. So, yes, the decals still look good, but I wish they were a bit whiter. Oh well. You all tell me, what do you think? White enough? I don't know. I'm going with it. While the decals are drying, I can turn my attention back to the base and give my little treasure some new shoes. 4 deep dish chrome cap style wheels, and this base looks like new. The decals are totally dry, and I can now seal the car up underneath a beautiful layer of urethane clear from Bright Vision. This stuff is magic. Honestly, the car will really be too wet and shiny looking to look like an original car from the blister pack. But I love that look, and I just can't help myself. Perhaps we should call this one a resto mod instead of a straight up restoration. Just look at that shine. I mean, seriously. The finish line is in sight, and my Mark IV is going to fly across it. I can now put it all back together and enjoy the final product. I drop in the glass, the interior, and then I screw the base back on, and I can call this one done. Well, there you have it, my Ford Mark IV Hot Wheels Redline from the Grand Prix series. I think it came out awesome. I really love it. The red paint just glistens. I'm super happy with it, and I hope you loved it too. If you did, please give it a giant thumbs up, click subscribe, and be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I love to hear from you guys. All right, that's going to do it for today. I just want to leave you with this thought. Win or learn. Never lose. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying be good.